Hi everybody, it's Annette from The Art of Intuition, and today we are going to talk about full body ascension and what does that mean, and have you achieved full body ascension, meaning you've ascended your body to a certain state back to your purest template, right? Now, purest template is probably not exactly the right word there because you're always going to go cleaner in a sense and pure, and you're going to continue to clear even if it's just on a cellular level as the collective's clear. So you're always still going to be going up, but there does get to a point where you're like, hey, have I gotten to full body ascension yet? Or a big pinnacle of it, knowing that we're always going to be clearing something. So I know I've asked this question before, and I had someone else ask this question, and I'm like, it's kind of a good topic. And I had kind of always felt like it's a stage. And you're not gonna just wake one day and go, hey, you're fully ascended, I'm fully finished. You're always kind of in a stage of full body ascension. You're seeing what knocks you off or out of your purest, highest aspects of yourself. What can happen in the physical world that affects you? I talked a little bit about this in a video the other day. Whatever's weighing you down, the story you have around it, with certain things in your physical environment that go crazy, because there's a distortion there, and the distortion is not so much with the thing, it's a story you have around the thing. That's the issue, in a sense. That's what your universe is trying to show you. It's not the thing. It doesn't matter that your car broke down. That's not the problem. The problem is your car broke down and you lost your shit, and because you had all these other stories around what was going to happen when your car broke down. So look at the story you have around it, right? That knocked me off. So if whatever knocks me off means technically I've ascended more, but I'm still not fully ascended in a sense, because I can still be knocked off. There's something that can happen that can still knock me off until you get to that place where nothing really knocks you off, and still knowing there's places to go after that. Because I know sometimes I will be in something, and the first couple of times it happens, it really knocks me off. And then after a while, after it's knocked me off, and during that knock off phase, I'm bitching and clearing a lot of stuff and not holding my highest aspect and getting all in my ego about something, getting my feelings hurt about something or whatever it is that's kind of affecting me in that moment. And when I'm doing that, I'm also clearing programming. But normally if I pull the trap door or do something that's not aligned, but I just want the whole reality to stop because I don't like how it makes me feel. I don't want to kind of finish it in a sense. I don't want to finish it. I want to just let it be over. So I might, and whatever your emergency lever is for you, you might just pull that emergency lever and say, hey, I'm not going to trust my universe is going to bring this to a close on its own. I'm going to have someone come in to help me with this, and I'm going to call that person to help me. And maybe that's not aligned, but I'm going to do it anyway because I just want this to be done. You'll eventually have to work through, you're going to have to go through that same experience pretty much all over again, because there was more there to clear, and we kind of stopped the process a little early because we didn't like how uncomfortable we were. Eventually we kind of stopped doing that, because once you see things repeating and repeating, you start to understand. It's also to see how far you've come and how it really doesn't knock you off, or it doesn't knock you off as much as it did before. You're not separating off as long as you were before. You're not separating off as severe as you were before. You even know when you're separating off a little bit and going into the story, that never-ending story of whatever it is you have around that thing happening and what's going to happen because this thing happened. And you get all that victim energy out. And a lot of it has the victim energy too, so we got to clear all that. These are all things that show you, yes, I'm in a different phase, but I'm not at that pinnacle in a sense yet where nothing really bothers me. I'm in a different phase of full body ascension. So we're always going up. Now I can set through this and it doesn't really bother me because my body's at a different phase. And what will happen is you get to these big expansive places, and then you start, kind of shrinking back down in a sense. You come back and look at your reality and you see everything that's not aligned with that. Or it feels like everything's coming at you that's not aligned with that new vibration your body's hit. And then you have to align all that. Because I know I've said this before, your body's vibration is always going to be the first thing. The body's going to look out for itself. It's kind of like, I guess, to take it to something human. I had a doctor once tell me, like, when your blood work starts coming back poor, in a sense, or not I really don't want to go into this analogy, but I'm going to go ahead and keep going with it. When your blood work starts getting off, your body has been suffering for a long period of time in a sense, because now it's pulling from the blood to make things whole in a sense. That's kind of the line the body has, right? In your human body, when your body starts pulling from the blood in a sense and the blood levels start going crazy, things have been off for a while, and that's kind of the last resort it goes to, right? It starts now trying to compensate by rearranging, blood cells, whatever it's doing with the blood, to show, hey, we got a problem here, and now we got to go here. This is the last place we're going. And if we're here, where we really have a problem in your human body, in your human existence. And it's kind of the same thing in higher existence, but you kind of see how a lot of these things start to parallel, whereas your vibration is the highest thing. And no matter what your universe has to take out to keep that vibration going, it's going to do that. You can do it on your own, and it can be an easier ride, and watch the support start to come to get you out of that, whatever that is. Or you can wait, and the whole thing is going to crash down around you because you're going to be extracted from it. That is its first priority. Just like in the human body, it's to keep the body going, and if it has to pull from the blood, it will. The vibration becomes more important. The vibration of the body, keeping your vibration at a certain point, supporting the vibration you're at now and the next one you're going to. That's what your universe is always going to be doing. It's always going to be getting you to in a place. And you'll know when you're in a place now that all of a sudden my body's not supported anymore. I can feel it. I've gotten to I can feel it when this isn't supporting me anymore. I can't stay here anymore. Whether it's a place you used to go, a place you live, a job you used to go to, you'll start to feel it like, yeah, this isn't supporting me. And I've noticed to even stay at the vibration I'm trying to stay at, everything around me also has to kind of be removed, because those things weren't supporting me, and they're going to even make it tougher to stay where I am in this space right now. You might be at a place where all of a sudden coworkers start leaving, and you're like, why are coworkers leaving? Because they weren't in a way supporting where you were, and they have to go. Because your body's going to hold that vibration at all costs in a sense. And if you won't walk out of reality, it'll collapse it down around you, so you have to walk out of that reality to bring on the next reality. And usually once you kind of make I've always kind of said, well, if I've never always kind of said, I'm going to say it now, you kind of have to take that first step out the door, then you kind of find the door gets slammed behind you very quickly. You don't have to reach back around to close it. They're like, okay, oh, you're out, you're going, okay, great, yeah, okay, great, let me just slam that. I'm going to, don't come back, it's that energetic, don't come back, you're not welcome here. Just keep going, don't come back. And you'll start to feel that. I know I did something the other day, and I was like, okay, let me just end it, and then I thought, and the person that was in the reality with me was like, oh, this could take months. And I'm like, yeah, it took 12 hours. And I was like, hey, can you even go earlier than you wanted to go? Can you get out quicker? Because you got to go. Go on. Shoot. You're not welcome here anymore. There's someone else that this is the next stage of their reality that's trying to come into the place your energy, in a sense, is now occupying. So someone else has to come in there. So when we're talking, I know I kind of got a little off track to full body ascension, but it's all kind of tied together. It's the next stage of ascending to your body to the next vibration. Or normally you've already gotten your body to that point, and you're starting to see all the things that are coming that are trying to knock you off, and you're trying to work through that so they don't knock you off anymore. And you're clearing everything in a sense that's not that vibration of the new vibration of your body. So, okay, that bothered you before. We're going to bring that back in one more time to really clear out that shit. So we're gonna really let it go for a while now to see when you're gonna scream uncle, or if you're gonna just kind of keep going through it until you've worked it all out and you don't give a shit anymore. Because normally you have to get to the point where you don't give a shit anymore about the outside world, in a sense. And you kind of know just how your realities are going, that this is how it's supposed to be. And this is kind of a test I'm in. My universe is kind of testing me to see if I can hold it and I can stay with the course here and not have a total meltdown and freak out and just keep going. Because some of the stuff I do now, if I couldn't have imagined myself doing that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, much less 10 years ago. Humans would see some of my realities and be in a complete meltdown mode. Because your body is always going to be trying to clear what's not that vibration. It doesn't matter how severe it has to get. Doesn't matter how severe it has to get. It's going to continue to do that. So if you've had something that bothered you before and you didn't want to kind of finish it, it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. Or it might ease up for a while and then come back in again and say, okay, this bothered you before. Is it still going to bother you? And normally when stuff comes back in a second or third or fourth time for me, it doesn't bother me as much anymore because I'm like, yeah, you know, that shit happened last time, and guess what? Nothing happened. I got all upset, and I had all this clearing and emotion that needed to be triggered, needed to come out, but at the end of the day, didn't fucking matter. So we're just not going to even give that any peace of mind. If it knocks you off your peace and knocks you off your connection, then that's the reason it had to happen that way, because that was the one thing that was going to do that. So just be aware. And sometimes when you might see people that come back in that are of an old vibration, and they're still kind of being of that old vibration when they come in. And if we kind of play in that a little bit, it almost puts us back in that old vibration. Then you might see things going a little haywire because you kind of entered into an old timeline, and you open that box up again, and it feels very similar to a timeline 3 or 4 years ago you were in, because you kind of opened it back up. One, you didn't really go back, you just went deeper, and there was still more of that program there that you still want to participate in, whatever that thing is. So, okay. I think that's it. Keep practicing the art of intuition.